So you've coached Hayes, Williams, and Clarendon in the Eastern All-Star game this past season. So you've got some experience with them. So how is that going to help you coming into this role and coaching them now? Like, what kind of relationship do you guys have?
Well, I think it was basically just a starting point, you know. I mean, it was an unbelievable opportunity. Bill Lambier was supposed to coach the team. He had some family issues that allowed, you know, our Connecticut staff to coach that team. So it was just kind of a unique opportunity for us to be around the best of the best. And, you know, Clarendon and Williams were both first-time All-Stars, as were 3 of our Connecticut players. And so, you know, they were pretty green in terms of what to expect. And certainly what I learned about them in the process is that they're competitive, you know, and, you know, but a lot of it was just personality at that point. You're not coaching in the All-Star game hard, you know. The goal of the All-Star game is to entertain the fans and for nobody to get hurt.
Right.
So, you know, it was about knowing how outgoing Clarendon is and Williams and seeing that, you know, Tiff's a little bit more of an introvert, but, you know, but is sweet. And so it was more personality based, but it gave me a jumping off point when I got the job in reaching out to them for the first time. They at least knew who I was, you know, as opposed to just an assistant at Connecticut. You know, I had at least spent some time with them, chatted with them, been around them in that environment.
And speaking of chatting it up with them, I heard that you reached out to them as soon as you got the position here and asked them, you know, what did they think they were missing last season, how they could be better. So how did that conversation go?
Well, I think I treated different conversations differently based on what type of, whether it was phone or whether it was WhatsApp. But, you know, I tried to take it from what we would call an exit interview, where at the end of the season, all the players, we interview them about what they liked, what they didn't like, you know, from trainers and coaching philosophies to how we ate on the road, how we traveled. And so I really, you know, even with Clarendon, I said, just tell me about the day in the life of an Atlanta, you know, athlete here, and what does that mean, and what did your mornings look like, and how long did practice last, and what did you like about travel, and so it just gave us a place to start in terms of what can I do to make this organization better. And I can't do everything that they want, but I can certainly prioritize. I can certainly look into things that can make it better, to bring in free agents that'll want to be here, because let's face it, Atlanta's a great city, you know, and has had success on the basketball floor. So what are those little things that we can do better to take care of our athletes, to make them want to be here in Atlanta? So, you know, and outside of that, it was just relational. It's about getting to know each and every one of them, because, you know, one of my favorite quotes is always, they don't care what you know until they know how much you care. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about those relationships. It's getting them to understand I care about them as humans first, that ultimately then when I coach them hard, they'll understand that I'm coming from a good place, that it's about us being a great team. It's about them individually, you know, maxing out their potential, so that we can move forward together the best way.
And I think that's really important off the court. But as far as on the court goes, so, you know, Tiff Hayes, she was one of the leading scorers last season. Liz was second leading block shots per game. Sykes, you know, all rookie team. You have these players with all this talent. Do you have certain expectations for them to perform this season, or is it kind of like starting from a scratch point of view?
Well, I certainly have lots of respect for what they've done. And there's no doubt in this off season, it's about me figuring out how to maximize each of their talents, and really put in plays and put in sets that, you know, will allow them to take advantage of their strengths. And so I absolutely have a level of comfort and respect for what I think they can bring to the game. That being said, I think it's about us working together and maximizing everybody's individual talent collectively. And so, you know, they may not always be happy, you know, because it will be a process. And, you know, they may have to sacrifice some individual accolades for this team to succeed. But I think ultimately they all want to win. And that was very clear as I talked to all of them, that they thought they underachieved, that they thought they were better than their record, and that they want to win, you know. And so I don't think there's any doubt that everyone's happier when you're winning, and all of a sudden individual statistics don't matter as much when you're putting W's up.
So we had Angel McCoughtry, who sat out last season due to rest. Not sure if she's returning, at least I haven't known, but she might return this season. Do you think her return, and you've had some experience with her at Louisville, you helped recruit her, so you've got some experience with her too.
I look at Angel and say she's probably one of the 10 best players in the world. So how can I best coach her? How can I best mesh her in with the successful wing players that, had great seasons this year, and Sykes and Holmes and Hayes? And, we just become that much better. Now, do I think it's going to be easy every day? Absolutely not. But I think when you have someone with that level of talent, and I think Angel cares, and I think she has a chance to leave her legacy, and why not do it here? Why not end where you started your career and really build that legacy? And that's my message to her. Like, why not here? Why not now? Let's do this together.
Last season, the Dream traded away their first-round draft pick for Tamara Young and Imani Boyette from the Chicago Sky. Do you think that trade hurt the Atlanta Dream, or did we need it? Did we not need it? Does it not matter? What's your opinion on that trade?
Well, I think honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter,
Right.
But at the same time, when it did happen, if you looked from an outsider's perspective, not within this organization, but, I'm looking at it from the Sun perspective, and I'm thinking the timing of that trade, Atlanta's going to make the playoffs now. They were
Right.
fighting for that 8th seed. They get a rim protector in Imani Boyette. They get a veteran wing in Young. And at the time, Holmes was maybe starting to struggle with, some of her heel issues. And so it gave them some depth, some toughness, some defensive prowess at the rim. And so, thinking from an outsider perspective, if Angel comes back, that's better than getting a first round pick. So and Imani Boyette had an unbelievable rookie year. She clearly has, a great future ahead of her in the right system. And so I don't think it was such a bad trade for Atlanta. I really don't. Now, could they have utilized it better? That could be debatable. I don't think she played a lot. It obviously didn't translate to wins ultimately. So then all of a sudden that draft pick becomes the 3rd pick instead of what would have been, the 7th or 8th pick had they made the playoffs. So I don't think it was a bad decision at the time. And I think even now, I just look at it let's get Imani back to the Imani that she was her rookie year and build on that.
Right.
And let's get Angel back in here, and we have enough pieces to be successful.
I mean, you also wonder, well, at least I would wonder, we had Brittany Sykes come in, and she's all rookie team. She was the 2nd best rookie in the league, arguably. But, you wonder if what went through their head was, do you really need another first round draft pick at this point? She's a rookie at this point. So that's something that I kind of
I think it was a move to win now when they made it. It
Right.
was a move to win at
Right.
that moment. And had that worked out and they won, then all of a sudden, like I said, there's obviously always going to be a difference between the 3rd pick in the draft and somewhere deeper in the first round, which is where they would have ended up had they made the playoffs. So, I just look at it this is the hand I've been dealt, and my job is, to win the hand.